Hello! Today I'm going to talk about period pants. Last time I recorded a video it was to talk about reusable nappies, and now I am talking about reusable pants. Specifically, the pants that I've been using for my period have been the Thinx, She Thinx brand of pants, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend this particular brand for various reasons, which I've written about in the accompanying blog post. But I would definitely recommend the product, and I know that there are a few UK-based companies that do it as well, and I'm sure there'll be more cropping up. Anyway, I have 3 pairs. I have a fairly average period, I think. It's got a lot heavier after having a baby, but I go into all of that in detail so you can find out all about my my flow in the accompanying blog post, which the link will be in the show description. Show description? You know what I mean. I have a podcast, not a YouTube channel, so it's really confusing for me to now record videos. Anyway, I have 3 pairs. They look like this. I've got 1 pair that are just pretty standard. I have another pair that are kind of high-waisted, and then a black thong. And actually the thong is my least favourite one. It's, yeah, they're all pretty stylish. They don't look how I imagine. They don't look like a big sort of bulky nappy. I'm just going to turn them inside out. The gusset is a tiny bit thicker, but it doesn't feel gross, certainly not on the inside. The reason why is because it's cotton, so there's 4 layers. And then the outside is a slightly different fabric, so it feels a bit more plasticky, but it's still maybe not plasticky, maybe more, yeah, it feels more synthetic on the outside. It is moisture wicking, super absorbent, and I can honestly say that I never felt damp or wet or anything like that, even when I bled freely into the pants without a menstrual cup. So how I use them is with my menstrual cup. I have an organic cup, and I've previously used a moon cup. There's posts about both of those brands on my blog, and I've been using a moon cup now for about 6 years, maybe a bit longer. Yeah, about 6 years. I absolutely love it, but I have found that post-baby, my flow has just got a lot heavier. And actually, when you buy a menstrual cup, there's 2 sizes. So one of the size, it's normally just A and B. And if you've had a baby, you should go on to the bigger size. And I didn't. I just kept my old one. So I think that's why I, sometimes need a bit of extra backup. And I found that also where my period is a little bit longer, on the last day, I'll sometimes need a menstrual cup, but after 4, 5, sometimes 5 days of using it, I would rather just bleed straight into these pants instead. So I normally use the thong on that day. I'll use the high-waisted or these on day 2 always, because that's my heaviest day and I always need a bit of backup, and I'll have to empty my menstrual cup a couple of times in the day as well. So that gives you an idea of how I use it and my flow. What was I going to say? Yes, so if you go onto the Thinx website, and I haven't used any other brands, so I am referring just to these guys, they will give you a guide of, this will hold 2 to 3 tampons worth, for example. And most of them hold 2 to 3 tampons worth. And I would completely agree with that based on how I've used it. You can wear them the whole day and you just never feel like you need to change your pants. You never feel like, oh, I've wet myself. Or, I mean, most of us who've had a period will understand the feeling of, oh, I think I've just come on my period and I may have bled through. And I've definitely had that before. But with these, it's just great. Overall, I would highly, highly, highly recommend switching from sanitary pads or tampons or whatever to reusable pants. As I say, I use it in conjunction with a menstrual cup, but if you are somebody who likes to use tampons and doesn't want to switch to a menstrual cup, you could double up, or you could just bleed straight into these. You would need quite a lot more though if you were doing that. They range in price. I bought mine on the She Thinx website with a discount code, and so mine came to about £60 for 3. However, and this is why I wouldn't recommend them, I was then hit with a big customs charge, and I think the customs charge was about 25 quid in the end. So I basically, the discount that I'd got, I lost in the customs charge, and the She Thinx website, the customer service team, weren't very helpful. So overall, I think the She Thinx brand aren't a brand that I would necessarily recommend to UK customers, although you can buy them at Selfridges, I think. But I don't live in London anymore, so there wasn't a chance for me to pick them up super easily. And lots of people don't live in London, so, but anybody outside of London, I wouldn't recommend them. There's also a website, I think, called something Soda, where you can buy straight through them and you omit the customs charge because you're buying it through the kind of middleman. I would recommend reducing your carbon footprint though and trying to pick a UK-based brand, one that I've recommended below. Although I have to disclaimer that with the fact that I haven't tried those brands. If you're an American customer, I would 100% recommend She Thinx. They're amazing, really, really, really good. Yes. So if you want to read more about zero waste life, low impact living, veganism, you want to get business tips for ethically conscious creatives, head over to lucylucraft.com, where I share about it weekly. I have a newsletter where I share tips, tricks, musings monthly, and I'm always over at Instagram. Oh, and I have a podcast too, What She Said.